Hello students, welcome to Royal Palace PU College Jamkhandi online classes. My name is Sanjay sir and I'll be teaching you biology. Why are the night blooming flowers generally white? How does the bee know which flower has the nectar? Why does the cactus have so many thorns? How does the chick recognizes her own mother? To understand the answers about these questions, please watch this video till the end. Hi students, my name is Sanjay RG and I teach biology. And today we will be studying the last unit of biology, and that is ecology. This unit contains 4 chapters in it. Starts from chapter number 13 to chapter number 16. Today we will be studying the chapter number 13, Organisms and Populations. To start this chapter, we need to remember some of the basic concepts that we already studied in first year, chapter number 1, the living world. What are those points? If we have to call someone or something as living, then it should have to have some basic fundamental characters such as growth, development, reproduction, metabolism, consciousness, etc. etc. If anyone or the one which possesses these basic fundamental characters, then it is or himself or herself or itself is called as an organism. If it does not have these basic fundamental characters, then we can simply call it as a non-living thing. So in short, the one which has these basic characters are called as living, and the one which does not have these basic characters are called as non-living. So the basic question of this introduction to organisms and population starts by asking a question that from where actually this chapter starts from. It's very easy. It starts from a word called as individual or organism or species. We can call the individual as the living component of this system, of this atmosphere, of this environment. This living individual is the basic structural factor of studying the ecology chapter. Now consider an organism. It is similar in structure, function, characters. Now it finds another same kind of organism which also has the same kind of structure, same kind of features, same kind of characters. Or in other words, two similarly looking organisms which can interbreed among themselves to produce the fertile young ones are called as the species. Now remember students, I am introducing a word called as species. Of course, we have so many organisms on this earth, and all these organisms have got their own specialized characters. And if those specialized characters match the definition of species, then of course they should be categorized. Now understand or take an example of a rabbit. Now this rabbit, consider this as the male rabbit. Now it finds its own partner, a female partner or a female rabbit, which has the same kind of characters, same kind of morphological appearances and same kind of visual appearances and structural phenomenon. If they interbreed among themselves, obviously they'll produce the young ones, and those should be fertile ones. Consider that these two rabbits give birth to young ones, and of course their total number of organisms in their family, of course they will continue or they will increase. Now increase in the organism number of a specific species at a geographical area which should also be specific, at a time which should also be specific, is called as a population. Now I say that from 2 rabbits, now it is becoming somewhere around 4 rabbits, 5 rabbits, or etc. etc. Now this phenomenon wherein which the total number of organisms of a specific species or a particular species of a specific geographical area and time, it is defined as population. It is a simple phenomenon or to understanding phenomenon that the population includes only specific number of individuals or only specific species. You can consider a rabbit population includes only the rabbit species. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 4, or it may be n numbers, but it will always be having only the specific species or only one species in it. Now, of course, the rabbit needs to grow. Of course, the rabbit should have to interact itself with the another rabbit. Of course, the rabbit should have to interact with its own external environment. While growth and development or some other physiological processes, the rabbit should have to interact with its own biotic life and abiotic life. So if I consider a biotic life, bio means life, abio obviously no life. Of course, these biotic factor and abiotic factors, both the factors influence the basic growth and development or general physiology of an organism. These factors greatly influence the organism's growth and development or some other aspects or etc. Now, in this consideration, we need to understand that there is a study going on wherein which how actually the rabbit is growing, how actually the rabbit is interacting. Is it interacting with its own species or is it interacting with other species, or while interacting, is it interacting with respect to biotic and abiotic life? Of course, biotic means the one which has life and abiotic the one which doesn't. In case of abiotic, I can list the words as plants, animals, microbes, etc. In case of abiotic, I can list the words as temperature, light, water, soil, etc. So here comes the definition of ecology, which is very straight and clear. Ecology is a branch of science which deals with the interrelationships of an organism with the other organisms or among the organisms, and this organism with its own physical or abiotic environment. This is simply called as ecology. Now, we started our journey of explanation by taking an example of a single organism or an individual or species. Now the number of same species got increased. Now it got the name called as population. Now we need to go further and we need to understand another word concerning to it, and that word is community. Of course, in the forests there is not only one type of organism, there are so many organisms and so many species, and hence with respect to so many species, obviously they need to produce their own different populations, and these populations are present in a specific geographical area and they are connected with each other. While doing so, they are connected with the biotic life, they are connected with the plant or plants, they are connected with the animal or animals, they are connected with the microbe or microbes. While saying so, how actually they are connected from one another? If there is a specific geographical area, how actually these populations are interacting among themselves? Whether is it concerning to only the plants, whether is it concerning only to the different animals, how actually it is going on. It is the study of communities. So in short, I must have to tell you that community is nothing but group of different populations of species. We need to understand about community is that community includes different populations of different species, which are of course present in different, not the different in a same geographical area. Now we started our journey of expression with taking an example of individual or the species or the organism. Now it goes on increasing with respect to population, and after the population, community. This community includes the plant community, animal community and the microbial community. If you go further, we need to understand that all over the world same kind of temperature is not there. All over the world same kind of water conditions is not there. All over the world the same kind of light and soil conditions are not there. Obviously there is a change in the atmosphere, change in the climate, change in the weather, change in different considerations of this atmosphere keeps on going in our atmosphere. Right? So we need to understand that in a geographical area, its own specific temperature is there, its own specific water conditions are there, its own specific soil conditions are there, its own specific intensity of light is also there. So depending upon these considerations, the organisms interact with the surroundings. These organisms, with respect to their populations, with respect to their communities, with respect to their abiotic factors, they are interacting with each other. Now this area wherein which its own specific plants and its own specific animals are there, these are called as, or this particular term is called as ecosystem, wherein which the sum total of biotic community is there and abiotic community is there, and these are interacting with each other. While interacting, they are exchanging the materials, they are recycling the nutrients, and in favor of both the structures they are interacting. In favor of different aspects they are interacting. Now the word ecosystem arises. Now the word ecosystem comes into existence. Now consider an example of a geographical area. Let me give you an example of a desert. Now in this desert, of course we cannot say that at all the places of the desert same kind of temperature is there. Maybe different temperatures might occur, same kind of water conditions are not there, maybe different water conditions might also occur, same soil condition is also not there. I am just saying, by taking an example of a desert wherein which these abiotic factors, of course they change with respect to their own temperature, soil and etc. etc. But we have got different ecosystems in this particular desert itself. Now understand students, when we consider by taking different ecosystems with their own abiotic factors, when they commune together, it produces a biome, wherein which the biome contains different ecosystems with their own specific flora and associated fauna. When we say about flora, we need to understand that it is nothing but the word connected with the different aspects, studies, interactions of flowers. When we take the word called as fauna, we understand the same phenomenon but with respect to animals. So first basic thing is that plants should be there, and with respect to plants, different variety of plants, different structural contents of the plants, Likewise, the different animals which are dependent on these plants will arise in this nature. Easy, right? Understandable, right? So, biome is a structural unit or geographical unit wherein which biotic life is there, abiotic life is there, different communities are there, and these communities are interacting with each other, and these contain different flora and fauna. Of course, the fauna is dependent on the flora. Now, there are different biomes in this earth. By taking tundra as an example, by taking a rainforest as an example, by taking the grassland as an example, we have got so many different examples, right? So all these different biomes are not at all same. Once again, these different biomes will have to have different temperature conditions and different precipitation conditions, right? So of course, all these different biomes are present in a single sphere called as biosphere. Now students, I have given a large word called as biosphere. Biosphere or earth, here the word is earth, contains different biomes in it, and these biomes contain different ecosystems in them. These different ecosystems contain different communities in them, and different communities contain different species populations in them. And of course, each and every population has got its own specific species nature to it. So it starts from individual level and it ends with the biosphere. It starts with species, individual or organism, next population, next community, next ecosystem, next biome, and the last one biosphere. We even have ecological categories here. In our NCERT textbook, though we have listed 6 categories, they have mentioned only 4. They said that by cancelling ecosystem and biosphere from the 6 list, we can take only the 4 categories such as the individual, population, community and biome are the 4 basic ecological characters or categories we can see in the study of ecology. We can write them in an ascending order or in the descending order. It starts from individual and ends with biome. Being individual as the single entity or less organism having entity, and the biome having higher or larger number of organisms in it. Okay, after this we even have another department, and that department is branches of ecology. How many branches are there? What are the functions of these branches? Let's see. So in ecology we have got 2 branches. The first branch is called as Art ecology, and the other one is called as Sign ecology. What do you mean by Art ecology and Sign ecology? Let's study. If I take the same example of a rabbit with taking a single entity of a rabbit or the population of the rabbit itself, how actually this single rabbit or a group of this particular rabbits or the population of the rabbits is interacting with its own environment is the study called as Art ecology, wherein which we will be studying only a single entity, single organism or the group of similar organisms or the species, wherein which Sign ecology is a little different. In case of Sign ecology, we will be studying about a group of different species populations such as communities and their interactions with the environment. So I have given two words called as ot ecology and sign ecology, wherein which ot ecology gives us the study of only one organism or group of similar organisms with the environment. Simple one, that is the organism or the population or the species population with the environment, that is ot ecology. And the next one is about sign ecology, wherein which we will not be studying about only one organism or its own population. We will be studying about the group of different populations of different species and how actually these are interacting with their abiotic or physical environment. This is called as the sign ecology. Dear students, I have given so many definitions to you. I've started by taking the example of individual, after that population, after that community, after that ecosystem, after that biome, after that biosphere, and after that the departments or the branches or the types of ecology. Now we will come to the last word, and that last word is about the contribution of different scientists to the field of ecology. Of course, there are so many scientists who have worked for the better analysis of ecology, but we need to remember about one scientist specifically who really worked hard for ecology with respect to India. And that scientist name is Ramdev Mishra. Ramdev Mishra is called as the father of Indian ecology. Obviously, or of course, I can take the names of some other scientists also, like Ernst Haeckel, like Humboldt, like P. Odum, etc., etc. But in our NCERT syllabus, we have only one scientist name considering only India, and that is Ramdev Mishra. Ramdev Mishra has given a lot of contribution to the Indian ecological systematical study. Because of his contribution in the field of ecology with respect to India, the Indian government had created two committees for this. The first committee, called as NCEPC, which means that National Council for Environmental Planning and Coordination, which was established in 1972, and another one called as MEF, called as the Ministry of Environment and Forests, in the year of 1984. So dear students, this is all about the introduction to this chapter that is called as Organisms and Population. We'll definitely meet again, wherein which I'll go for the next topic and I'll explain some more informations about the next topic. We'll cover all the basic contents by taking or by with respect to NCERT textbook provided by the government. And in the end of this particular chapter, we will even discuss the important NEET questions too. Thank you students. See you again. Bye.